Chiefs' first preseason game.
Listen, man. I did a little hit with Tommy and Davey. Gave the Lions a little bit of love. Big victory last night. So yeah, listen, football's back. Bass fishing's happening right now. Like, it's the perfect time of year. Fantasy drafts starting in the next few weeks. Let's go. Let's go.
Where are we going? We're going out on Lake St. Clair. That is our playing field here this week. Brandenburg Park is going to be the scene of our weigh-in this afternoon. We'll whittle our field down to 10 anglers to fish on Championship Sunday. As always, joined by Kyle Jesse, Mark Zona in the mix, and we like it. We like you.
Dude, I've loved actually, you and I've goofed around, all week together, and Kyle, it has been awesome to be back. This is like, it's my most fun event of the entire season. Oh, wait. Exactly. Wow. That's been awesome. And hey, listen, the great thing about this tournament right now, actually being dead serious, is seeing the beat down that Trey McKinney has administered for the entire week. But we are finally, I did a TNZ podcast with Tommy, and we were talking about Anchor Bay, talked a little bit about the St. Clair River, but I also made the comment to Tommy, if there is an X factor in this tournament, we talked about it on day one, it is that shipping channel. Getting off of that shipping channel, the problem with that, generally, you're playing with fire on numbers, but the quality has, and really throughout this year, there's some people watching Bassmaster Live that have won a lot of tournaments out at that shipping channel the last 3 weeks. It's good that we're starting to see a little bit of space, at least not, I don't think all of our anglers on Championship Sunday will be fishing in Anchor Bay. So.
It looked like, yesterday, late in the day, we're watching Trey McKinney, and to Zona's point that he made early on day one, somebody is just going to outperform everybody in that area. And that seemed like what we were watching from Trey McKinney so far today. But then Tucker Smith comes in with the biggest bag of the event, and you're like, they're out there, and there's a big potential to make a move. We saw that with Tucker Smith, Logan Parks. It's a long ways from over.
Yeah.
Is it time? Is it time for us to officially, if you go on the internet, there's a lot of things said about Trey McKinney. But he is what he's doing.
Positive and negative.
Yeah,
positive and negative.
Yeah, positive and negative out. I'm all about it. But what he is doing, there's a lot of people thinking he's fishing special spots. He is doing this in front of people and playing out fishing them.
Hey, man.
This kid's good.
I said it this morning. We did a cast with Van Dam earlier this week, and Sanders asked me a question about that dude right there, and he said, "Is there anybody that could be the next Van Dam?" And I said, "Well, no, but if you look at a Jacob Wheeler, here's the problem, man. I can't compare that because he doesn't fish the Bassmasters, all right." But at least in the Bassmasters, if you look at somebody right now where you could say the talent is in the package, that's that guy right there. And I'm going to tell you, I don't believe, obviously last year there were some hiccups and trips and fumbles, and the dude still almost walked away with the title, okay, of Angler of the Year. He is the total package, and the last 15 months, truly, one of the best 15 months that I've ever seen in bass fishing, period.
17 Elite Series events, 15 top 50s already, and I think closing in on 9 top 10s. But here's a guy making his first semifinal Saturday of 2025, and why don't you just sit down, Matt Robertson?
Let's go.
Wants to make it home to call his kid Stone Cold Robertson.
Well, that doesn't surprise me at all in any way, shape, or form. Kid's going to have good genes, no doubt about it. Looking at Matt Robertson right here. Matt Robertson, one of the anglers that started in Anchor Bay earlier in the week, but really has spent the most of his time late on day one, all of day two, and all here of semifinal Saturday out near that shipping channel. But again, not dealing with crazy big numbers, but quality there for Matt Robertson.
One thing we've heard from a lot of anglers this morning on live cast is once you get out to that shipping channel, you're not seeing as many fish, but they are much easier to catch. The fish here are getting much more pressured. Going going to be interesting to keep an eye on that as well.
And what's funny, I've talked with Davey Height about this. A lot of people ask, hey, where do those 5 to 6 pounders go this time of year? I've always believed that shipping channel with the deepest water in this lake just acts like a highway for a lot of the better than average fish. From there, Logan Park's right outside of our takeoff here on the north side of Anchor Bay.
Weighed in the second biggest bag of the tournament yesterday, 25 pounds, and that was only bested by his old college partner, Tucker Smith, with 26 pounds, 2 ounces.
Had the opportunity to watch him a good bit this morning. Obviously, see him throwing a casting rod there, mainly using a jerkbait. That's been his key weapon. Not fishing far from takeoff. We've even been able to see takeoff in the background of some of his shots, and had some losses this morning, but that's part of the game plan with the jerkbait, right, John?
Yeah, definitely fishing a lot shallower than a lot of other anglers. Seen a lot of hard baits here the last couple days. A lot of spy baits, some jerk bait fishing, but getting away from the crowd in Anchor Bay, solid tournament for Logan Parks.
His old college partner, Tucker Smith, has moved within 3 points of Paul Marks in our Dakota Lithium Rookie of the Year race. And he's not happy with one Elite Series title. He'd like to go and get number 2 here in his rookie season.
You know, and something that we talked about on day 1 of this tournament, Dave, is you kind of knew by the end of this event, the usual suspects were going to end up showing up. The guys that are masters of their technology, forward-facing sonar. And listen, I made this comment earlier today, and I did. I got kind of roasted for it. Another angler as good with his forward-facing sonar, like Tucker Smith, Koya Fujita. I made the comment, the usual suspects were going to show up, and there are a lot of the younger guys. And here's the best way to put it. Guys like Koya, guys like Tucker, Trey McKinney, dude, they fished around some phenomenal anglers. And to just cut to the chase, they're just way better at using it. Like here's what I mean by saying that. Looking at what Koya's doing out there. Yes. How many consistent 40-year-old and older anglers do we consistently cover staring at their screen? That would be none. Obviously, dude, the 20 to 30-year-olds, and you can go out there, dude, you can go out there in those packs of boats, and the guys that are consistently bowed up are of that age. There you go.
Well, Koya Fujita is very good at it, but nobody has proved better at it, and almost better at bass fishing over the last 2 years, and that is Trey McKinney, your unofficial leader in Progressive Bassmaster Angler of the Years. Listen to this. Youngest to ever qualify for the Elites. Youngest to ever win Rookie of the Year. Youngest to ever win an Elite Series event, and potentially 5 days away from becoming the youngest ever angler of the year. That makes me hate Trey McKinney. Just that right there.
I think the only thing that could slow Trey McKinney down, I'm not scared to say it, is if he gets a girlfriend and ends up married. Oh. Because right now, nothing can stop him.
Oh, it's coming.
And it is coming. That will eventually happen. But really looking at what he's done out on the water, fishing really basically 9 out to 12 feet of water. Bait rotation has been critical for him all week. Jig head minnow, dice style bait most of yesterday. Flawless performance so far for young Trey McKinney.
Here's a look at our updated leaderboard, and as you see, with 69 pounds, 7 ounces, Trey McKinney is your tournament leader. Koya Fujita, Tucker Smith, Logan Parks, and Matt Robertson rounding out your top 5. Easton Fothergill told me today if he catches a 5-pounder, he will breathe fire on the water for me here today.
That's all right.
I'm all about it. I'm going to put you on the spot, Mark Zona.
Bassmaster Live.
Yes, you said you were coming here. Boots on the ground. Mark Zona going to finally suss some stuff out. Good opportunity to talk to Koya Fujita. We're going to get out in the water with Takumi right now, but after that, I want you to think about this.
Okay.
Did you get any little info nuggets that you can share with us?
I've made a comment that Koya and I have become close. Koya doesn't like me. No. When he came up to the weigh-in yesterday, I waved to him, and he just turned around and walked away.
But everybody likes Takumi Ito. I don't think Takumi's any more secretive than Kyoya. I think Takumi is just a master at doing it with a smile and laughing, and it seems less offensive.
No, I don't agree with you. Listen, you could literally, at the end of the tournament, you can get what you need from Taku. You are not going to get that from Koya.
I don't know. I think that you get what Takumi thinks you need. Like, I think he still is... Think about it. We're talking about a guy who fished for 15 minutes under a dock and acted like, oh, I did this in Japan. No, you were looking at him all that whole time. I mean, he's...
I'll throw something else out there, and I made this comment yesterday. I think Easton Fothergill is as sneaky as both of them.
Yes.
I really do.
And here's the scary thing. When I told him you had called him the American Kyoya, he smiled and took that as a compliment.
Oh, can you step here?
Yes.
It's okay.
From Takumi Ito, let's head over to one of Z's best buddies.
I did.
Fujita.
I said at the Classic that him and I were best friends. I don't know. Coming back doesn't seem like we are. Out to Koya live right now. Again, about 9 to 12 feet of water. And he has bounced around, actually. I've watched him today on our map. He's bounced around a lot. And Davey made the comment, dude, I don't know what pound line he is using, but I mean cracking the leather whip, feeling the lash.
Yep. Yeah. Buddy.
Yeah, that's not 8-pound line. That is not 8-pound line.
I'm starting to think he doesn't own 8-pound line. I mean, everybody thinks he's super finesse.
Here's to show you how sneaky he'll be. Like today, I'll ask him what pound line. He will not even answer what pound line to me. Like, he's consistent.
He tells his camera guy where to stand in the boat.
Dude owns it.
Keep comparing these guys. Well, let's go from Kyoya Fujita back to Takumi Ito.
314.
And this is where it all kicked off for him. This is where we first kind of featured him on Bass Live, and the bass fishing world kind of fell in love with his youthful affection, his excitement about the sport of fishing.
Yeah, and Taku actually said really, really rough practice. Did not see a lot of fish from that 4.5 to 5.5 pound range. Taku's kind of been on the outskirts of Anchor Bay all week long. It's great seeing Lee Livesey up here, Justin Hamner. Those guys are heading on off to the raft off out there that starts in about an hour.
They're not the only ones.
I know. I made the comment. I was just driving down Jefferson, coming up towards Anchor Bay, and boy, every party store seems a little bit crowded right now.
Got any tips for me out there, Z?
Listen, I'm just going to, while he fights this fish right here, I got wrapped up in one of them deals a couple 25 years ago in Muscatine Bay, and you almost want to just bathe in holy water on that Sunday morning after.
Good chance I won't make it back for weigh-in, so
Yeah.
good thing you're here.
Yeah. Actually, no, I've been leaving the weigh-ins, Dave.
Here's something that stood out at weigh-in yesterday. Takumi's son. I mean, it's hard to hold a big smallmouth bass. They're nothing but muscle. And you see a lot of kids hold them, and their dad's kind of propping the fish up, and there's a lot, some of them slip out of their hands. Takumi's son grabbed that 5-pounder and held it like
Owned it.
It is not the first one he's held.
Definitely, like every day of this tournament, pretty much been premium smallmouth conditions. Nice light chop, 1 to 3 foot waves throughout the tournament, high skies. And the one thing that we've definitely seen throughout this tournament, and pretty much every tournament that we cover on St. Clair, Dude, when that sun gets its highest and those fish start to elevate out of that grass, there's been a lot of late day moves this week.
Is it easier to catch them when they do that, or is it just easier to see them, which makes it easier?
Well, obviously,
to catch
yeah. Well, heck, when they elevate out of that grass, I did a hummingbird hit, and it was I was stunned the first morning in this tournament before these fish got throttled in Anchor Bay. A lot of those fish at like 7:30 a.m. were already elevated in the water column, which surprised me because usually it almost takes 2 or 3 hours for it to happen. But I think they also, when they get good eyesight late in the day with high skies, dude, they just start hunting more.
2 box and both hooked up. Cole Sands having a great tournament himself. Is there a lake in the country that you just leisurely go out, fish in, boat and whatever, and you will see more people hooked up? I mean, I can't think of one you go to where you see, I mean, if you go to St. Clair and you don't see someone hooked up, it's a rarity.
Yeah, you're right. And what's funny is it's also crazy timing stuff. And there'll be little lulls and stuff like that. But the one thing that you see is when it fires for an entire almost region of this lake. When I came off the water on day one, it was a little bit slow in the morning. I saw fish catch here, fish catch there, and I rolled at about 9:15, and there was a cluster of those 30 boats just outside of Anchor Bay, and every single boat was hooked up at the same time.
Fat, at least. I don't know if they'll help, though.
Steve Bowman said, I feel like Trey McKinney's going to slide some way, shape, or form by Championship Sunday. You know what Trey McKinney is saying? Yeah, that is not going to happen, Rendo. Listen, I'm going to say it again. Any of his Elite Series competitors, find that dude a girlfriend because he ain't going to slow down this week.
Tony Blaze, he's sliding this into the bank because he's been spending a lot of time cashing checks since he showed up here and not stopping anytime soon.
The Yamaha V-Max SHO. Pure Yamaha DNA designed for reliability and performance. Yamaha's brawny 4.2-liter big block cranks out massive power. Quick out of the hole with sizzling top speed. Unleash the power with 70 amps of charging ability for today's power-hungry electronics. Yamaha V-Max SHO. The game changer still dominates.
At Beat Down Outdoors, we know you depend on your gear to hold up in any condition. Rain, snow, sun, or sleet. We built for that. We test for that. In fact, we pride ourselves in that. Because we know when the time comes to test your gear, we weren't going to take it easy. So we won't. We build premium, made-in-the-USA products that you can rely on in the moments when your equipment should be the last thing on your mind. I guess you could say that's our thing.
It's the moment when everything is on the line and precision, power, and control make all the difference. A moment over 20 years in the making, anchored on loyalty, trust, and support that goes beyond all expectations. a relentless pursuit of perfection. All born from a revolutionary idea to help you rule the water. Power Pole.
Professional angler Jason Christie knows the performance and feel of a reel in his hands is very important. And that's why he designed the new Spro JC Elite and JC Elite MG Baitcast reels to achieve both of those goals. The reels have 4 gear ratios for any technique, and the frame of each reel is the same size. So no matter which speed you use, they feel the same. 9 bearings, long casting, and loaded with power. Give the JC Elite and JC Elite MG a try this season.
As a professional fisherman, every decision I make is to win.
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 The boat I drive,
Baits I throw,
the gear I wear.
I do it to win.
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 Because when I'm on the water, I want to be the best.
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 That's why.
And that's why.
And that's why.
That's why
we
wear the best.
Welcome back to On Location coverage. Trey McKinney has owned this event, and if you look at his track record, not a lot of events that he hasn't owned, Mark.
No, and I'll be honest with you. I made a comment before this tournament. If there's a hole in his game, it was smallmouth. Boy, I nailed that one, Dave Mercer.
He spent a ton of time on Lake Michigan, and he really, I mean, you watch him fight a smallmouth. He has a healthy disrespect, and boy, an incredible amount of moves that are coming out.
No doubt about it.
Big Tom and Jerry fan growing up. Asked him his favorite childhood. I mean, he's not a normal, like you would think SpongeBob. No, Tom and Jerry and the Roadrunner.
Right.
Love the Roadrunner.
Got it.
Kyle Jesse, one of the big players here this week that many might not have predicted coming into this event, especially with the wind the way it's been. It's a spy bait.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, on day one of the event, we had a good time breaking down the Bass Pro Shop's top baits for St. Clair. Spy bait was one of them, but, you know, another bait we talked a lot about coming into the event was a dice bait. Right off ICAST, every company in the world seemingly coming out with some variation of a dice bait. Zona, that's a player here this week, right?
Yeah, and I'm actually going to throw you a theory about the dice bait. It obviously, you know, we make fun of it. We always say matching the hatch and all that kind of BS. But if you actually look at Lake St. Clair this week, okay? If you look on the back of this net, you are going to see a lot of mayflies. Even though we have mayfly hatches here from May, June, July, all the way into August, we ended up having a big mayfly hatch this week. If you do look at the nymph that comes out of the bottom of Lake St. Clair, a dice bait on a Nico rig where it's basically from the surface to about 5 foot under the surface, I'm telling you, a dice bait actually in the water, when you look at it with a lightweight, say you have it on a 16th ounce and you're click, 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 what you got to see Trey McKinney doing yesterday. You know that Koya has employed that this week. If there is something that a dice bait looks like forage-wise, it absolutely is a mayfly that comes out of the bottom of the lake. That is the closest comparison I can make, and we collided with a mayfly hatch earlier this week. That's the only theory I have on that. When it comes to the spy bait, this is one of those lakes where a spy bait actually was kind of introduced. Saw Chad Grigsby win a big tournament here. Scott Dobson, big-time guy, tournament angler out here. And look, Dobson runs with Dakota, and Dakota made a comment. He said, with as much pressure that is in Anchor Bay, I have been able to run laps around guys locking a spy bait in my hand. The negative side of spy baiting, it's hard to upgrade your hooks, and that's the biggest thing, is keeping them hooked on a spy bait. I know Dakota made the comment, I'm using braid rings, the braid loops around his treble hook. The problem with a spy bait, if you up the size of your hook, it doesn't let that bait roll back and forth.
An emerging nymph, that's what we're saying.
Dude, listen, if you right now Google where a mayfly comes from, comes from the bottom of the lake when it's a wiggler, it looks scary similar to a dice bait.
All right, well, I'm not going to argue with you.
I'm not going to say that I was just hanging in the hotel room Googling mayfly nymphs, but I was.
I bet.
Easy. Easy.
Let's
now.
see your
Don't
Google
go down
history.
that
I'd
highway.
love to. Watching Trey McKinney live right now. There's also a chance that, like, really the sport has just turned into whatever you can shake in front of a fish, and it's just a cat toy.
Yeah, like the Easton Fothergills. I mean, he's the master of that.
Yeah. Told me he would breathe fire today if he catches a 5-pounder, so I am really hoping for that. What me and Kyle Jesse talked about, hooked up live. Well, he gets this fish in. Kyle Jesse, myself, Lee Livesey, several of the guys on the live cast talked about this. People have often said, what stands out with these super scopers? Why do they stand out? And I think we're seeing
because it's all they do.
It's all they do, but it's also what they do faster. It's speed. They're quicker at it.
Let me throw one. Can I an opinion on this?
Of course, that's what you're here for.
In Anchor Bay, there is a lot of grass.
Mm-hmm.
And the majority of the fish are in that grass. To be able to immediately process like a computer when those fish are in that grass and there's not a lot of separation, I'm telling you, the best shiners in this field are able to see that. Look, anybody on day one, when those smallmouth would elevate a foot out of that grass, dude, they would emit, I mean, it was a beam. But it's when they're in the grass and being able to see those fish, I think, as well.
And that hasn't changed here. Speed on St. Clair has almost always been a weapon. The more water you can cover, they're covering more water. Is it any different than 35 years ago when Kevin Van Dam showed up? I know it's involving technology, but Kevin Van Dam got his bait in front of more fish, covered more water, and caught more.
Oh, dude, I just think they truly, I'm going to dumb it down. I just think they know what they're looking at better than the guy that's next to him. That's what I believe.
I don't think he's very big, but...
Logan Parks. Second biggest bag of the tournament weighed in yesterday by Logan.
No, it's a little largemouth. Largemouth. Wrong species.
Look how confused he is. What is he doing out there?
Dang, you freaking got it.
There's a whack of them in this lake, though.
Especially the north side of this bay. There's an area called Lotta View, just west of here. Springtime, phenomenal largemouth fishing.
He's not going to Ish Monroe in the Open last year
100%,
crushed him on
yes. Ish Monroe's caught him several times here, big stringers. Just hard to do 3 and 4 days.
Sure.
To give an idea of the numbers, you know, you go to Mitchell's Bay and stuff like that, and I know multiple people that have hooked a largemouth. You're pulling it reeds. That largemouth jig pulls out of its mouth, and before that jig gets back to the boat, you hook up with another largemouth. I mean, there's not only numbers, but groups of them. They group up.
There are docks on the bottom end of the Detroit River, or 9,000 years ago, that I used to fish tournaments on, and I've taped down there. But there are certain docks that you don't catch one under a dock. You catch 30, and generally they're all 2 to 3.5 pounds.
Mercer, for what it's worth, I have never had that happen in Alabama. Not one single time.
You've also never shoveled mayflies in Alabama. Things are different here. Or snow.
And I need to qualify. When I was talking about the mayfly hatch we had, it was a smaller one this week.
Okay.
Dude, there was one here 30 days ago. I saw pictures online. There was a tournament going on here where you would go to some of the gas stations. And, I mean, you couldn't see paint on the side of the gas stations.
You literally, there's times where you shovel them here. You have to shovel them. And here's the scary thing, crazy thing about them. Kind of weird. nothing slicker ever. Like, it actually causes driving concerns.
Yeah.
No different than ice does. You try to stop on just a mess of mayflies.
They're an amazing creature, though.
Yeah,
At the same time.
That's why there's 78 different dices out in the industry. Because of the emerging nymph, it's finally been figured out. We'll be right back in just a few minutes' time. Bassmaster Halftime Show.
What a time to be live. Humminbird's new Mega Live 2 forward-facing sonar is your front row seat to every epic catch, unfolding as it happens with more clarity than ever before. Decipher between dinks and diamonds in the brush. Choose between 15 color palettes and 3 views. Zero in with enhanced bait tracking and marvel at all the jaw-dropping detail. New Mega Live 2. Next-gen clarity, next-level fun. Only with Humminbird.
If you're looking for the best jigs, buzz baits, spinner baits, Epic is the choice for you. Years of experience from every Epic pro angler goes into every bait. Epic Baits, veteran owned, so check us out, America.
Terminal tackle to swing jigs and buzz baits. Epic has you covered.
The best weights that I've used, they never fray your line, no matter if you're using fluorocarbon, braid, whatever, you don't have to worry about it.
Keep an eye out for all the new products coming to epicbaitsfishing.com.
So we're not all professional anglers. We don't all compete on the biggest stage. But inside us all burns the same fire to be a champion. It's why you get out early, brave the toughest conditions, point the bow toward adventure and put the hammer down. For whatever trophy or fish or memory you're chasing, count on a Mercury Pro XS outboard, engineered to deliver the speed and reliability you need to power the champion inside you.
Since 1975, PH Marine has been the leader in boat parts and accessories, powering every journey on the water. From trim handles to jack plates, we've built a legacy that keeps you running strong. PH Marine, built for life on the water.
This is the brand new V.A.S.S. It's a little bit shallower than the original. It has more of that traditional bass boat look that I love. The layout of this boat's set up really, really nice. Really easy to fish out of, really easy to rig out of. Storage is insane. And this thing's a beast in big water, but also drafts super shallow. So, you know, just a really high performance machine. I can take this boat all across the country, whether I'm river beating or on the Great Lakes, and it handles everything flawlessly.
Good morning, commuters. Looks like we got traffic backed up for miles. Starting with a downed tree blocking East Avenue and a broken water main causing a bottleneck on the westbound lanes. We've got weekend travelers flooding the turnpike, meaning it's bumper-to-bumper traffic for the foreseeable future. I'd get comfortable. You might be there for a while.
Toyota Trucks. Let's go places.
25 years as a touring professional, I have depended on Gamakatsu my entire career to produce the sharpest and the strongest hooks. Known as a power fisherman, but yet if you're going to survive as a tour level pro, finesse is becoming more and more popular, regardless if we go north or we go south. So when you're choosing a hook, choose Gamakatsu. They have one for every technique and every body of water that you fish on.
The newest addition to the Basscat STS family is here. Introducing the Caracal STS, showcasing aggressive styling, paired with enhanced performance and a continued dedication to raising the bar. Measuring in at 20 feet 2 inches with an ultra-wide 96-inch beam and rated for a 250 to 300 horsepower engine, the Caracal STS boasts agility and speed and is finished with premium features to satisfy any angler. Basscat boats. Feel the rush.
It is my second favorite day of the week. It is semifinal Saturday. Of course, my favorite day, Championship Sunday. But it's hard to have a bad day on Lake St. Clair, and especially if your name is Trey McKinney, 69 pounds, 7 ounces. Our tournament leader, Kyoya Fujita, was 66.9, trying to chase him down. And the biggest bag of the tournament was weighed in by young Tucker Smith, who is 3 points in the rear of our Dakota Lithium Rookie of the Year race. 26 pounds, 2 ounces he weighed in yesterday. Cole Sands having a great event. And Tucker's old college partner, Logan Parks, having a great event. And he's a Yokohama pro. This is the Yokohama Bassmaster Elite. And the nice thing about this event is, well, we got this guy with us.
Let's go.
Travis Pastrana, I mean, world famous for so many, well, really just famous at doing things that most people say are stupid.
Well, I'll take that as a comment, man. I tell you what, it's awesome to be out here. I actually got to meet Logan Parks last night. He had such a big day yesterday, and then saw him catching a widemouth bass out there today. I was like, what is going on?
Travis, I got to meet you at the Bassmaster Classic, and I had a question at that classic after you left. And do you ever, like, before some of your stunts, are you ever like, damn, this is a bad idea right here?
That one right there on TV, yeah, that one was a bad idea. Actually, most of the stuff that you see in video, I always say, Dad, you know, I thought I had it. He goes, well, it was about 100% chance that wasn't going to work. You should have figured that out before you started. But that's been the fun of it, man, pushing the limits.
How old were you when you started doing this stuff?
You know, I've been since I was born, pretty much. But
really?
at 4 years old, started riding dirt bikes, kind of like you guys started fishing. You know, it's what you do with your family. It's what my mom rode motorcycles, Dad rode motorcycles, and then with age, get a cage. So I've been doing that, and then starting to go over to the boat world as well.
It's awesome.
You are in the boat world. I mean, I seen a video yesterday of you blasting. Like, what boat are you like? You're part of Team Mercury now?
So Mercury's been absolutely awesome. I started running offshore back in 2021 during COVID. The World Championship was down in Florida. The top team, Geico, 2,200 horsepower quad turbo boats going 150 miles an hour. They said, hey, our drivers from Europe, we can't get them over here. It's going to be an asterisk, but the World Championship, would you like to jump in? And I evidently liked that I could drive a little bit, or at least kept it from flipping somehow. And they brought me back the next year. We won the World Championship legit, and been trying to get as much towards the water sports as I possibly can. Grew up, in Annapolis, real close to water, watermen all over. But I like going fast, so it's cool to see these guys. As rough as it is out there, they are ripping.
Travis, there is a thing called, I talked about it earlier today, going on out here, called a raft off, okay?
It is.
It is about 5,000 boats, basically just partying. But trust me, by the end of the day, it will be your speed out there outside of Muscatine Bay. Like, it is something to truly behold here.
So it's going faster.
It starts slow generally, and then the raft off ends very, very fast. Yes.
Sounds awesome.
Exactly.
With a lot of regret. A lot of regret.
Yes.
Travis, you've done everything. I mean, literally, when you look at that highlight reel, I mean, most people, if they've done one of those, they're like, let me tell you about the time I did this. You've done everything. Is there anything like, I'm a big goal-oriented person, clearly. What are your goals? Like, is there anything left, any boxes to check, something you'd like to do?
Yeah, honestly, came out last year to the Bassmaster Classic, and it was interesting that there was a lot of motocross riders that had turned into anglers.
Right.
I don't currently have the time to get out there. I was actually, a lot of your sponsors kind of overlap. We have, like I said, Yokohama, TNT Fireworks. My kids were stoked. We came back from the Bassmaster Classic with a bunch of fireworks. But at the end of the day, I didn't realize how much speed was involved in fishing. How much, like, it was intense out. I got dead last. It was horrible for me, but I don't like to be that bad at anything, and definitely looking forward to the future, hopefully getting out here and having some fun with you guys.
It's awesome.
So you're gonna fish?
Yeah, I mean, not professionally, but I'd like to at least not be last.
Yeah.
Pro-ams, let's go.
Story of my life. That's my goal. Just don't be last. Yokohama, a great sponsor of this event, obviously ties you into this, and you're going to be hanging out here all day long?
I'll be out here all day. Yeah, we've got the Yokohama Can-Am. We've got some cars, and having a lot of fun. Actually, just getting on that Lake St. Clair has been awesome today.
So, is this your first time actually on St. Clair?
Yeah, this is my first time out here. Like I said, fishing is something that is definitely not in my wheelhouse, but it looks like a lot of fun. And getting to meet some of the fishers, the anglers, sorry, it's been really cool. And seeing that we come from a lot of the same backgrounds, same areas, just like to go have some fun, do stuff fast. And I didn't realize the technique and the challenge, that it really got intense out there. So pretty cool.
Well, the North Channel, Travis, is right over here. And there will be some cigarette boats coming out of that North Channel. Full tilt in the next 3 hours, trust me.
Yeah, no, there's there's an offshore powerboat race right down the road. There's a lot of cool stuff actually in this whole area, but I just saw a boat come by at about 130. I was like, I hate to be just sitting there on the Sea-Doo or the bass fishing boat.
Well, this is the Lake St. Clair that Kid Rock talked about, cruising in his 40-foot Donzi, and we're going to see a bunch of those here today. But a guy who, Mark Zona agrees that really a Donzi or a girlfriend is about the only thing that can stop Trey McKinney. I mean, he is focused on fishing, but if he gets just a little distracted, that could be the end of his career.
Well, pretty much, I will tell you, if you really look at what he's done, he has done it with so much pressure around him this week, so many other anglers. And I really did. Coming in this tournament, I thought with the three that were at the top of our Angler of the Year race, Jay Shakurit, Chris Johnston, I kind of felt like this was going to be the weak link for Trey McKinney. Kind of if you looked at last year when we were at the St. Lawrence River, and that's where I really thought there was going to be maybe a hole in his game. Dude, he has fished. If you look at this entire season, you almost have to touch perfection to hold a blue trophy up on the Elite Series stage. This has been, at least so far, with 1 day left, because I'm already calling today a close for Trey. Dude, he has fished a perfect tournament with so many other anglers literally in his back pocket. I'm telling you, on day one, I was out here and I was about 100 yards from Trey McKinney. Dude, he embarrassed the competition around. Like, he embarrassed them.
Travis, you have, you may not have done a lot of angling, but you're an incredibly focused human. Like, you've been in that stage that Trey McKinney's in. You've focused over things that people said were impossible. You've obsessed over them. What is that like to be in that mind space?
People always say, what's it take to become great at anything? And some people call it being driven or being focused. I call it being obsessed. There's no amount of money on earth, there's no amount of anything that can make someone be the absolute best, because every minute of every day, these anglers are thinking about fish and where to be and where to go. And that's, similarly, I just had no idea, like watching these guys, how intense it was out there. I was with Scott last year. It was, learned a lot. It was a lot of fun, but he was like, throw it there. I'm throwing it an inch off. He's like, oh my gosh, this is, you're not even paying attention. I just had no idea. And just the intensity there was really cool.
Well, if you do any of that stuff you do with me and Zona, you'll feel the exact same way about us. Another guy who is literally obsessed with this sport has traveled from the other side of the world to chase this dream, and that is Koya Fujita. And boy, this dream is coming true for him.
Yeah, and really looking at what Koya Fujita, boy, you get Koya in a smallmouth tournament, you can pretty much write him in to the top 10. And what was funny was, again, going back to that first day, being out on the water, there was two anglers that stood out in about a 40-boat cluster out there. And it was Koya on one side, on the west side of that cluster, and it was really Trey McKinney on the other side of it. And I don't know. What's funny was we talked about this. A few anglers used the word luck for this tournament because it was a different Lake St. Clair. There wasn't a huge group of bass out there like there was in years past where there's 400, 500 fish to choose from on your technology. It was a one here, a one there. And you knew by the end of this tournament, luck was going to be thrown out the window because it will end up the usual suspects by Championship Sunday.
Sorry, I do have a quick question. Not to be that guy just butting in here, but it seems like the boats are moving so far up and down. How well is their instruments actually telling them where it is, or how much is it just
deadly accurate, man?
It is deadly accurate.
And what's funny is with the rougher conditions, and today, when you combine the wind and the boat wakes that are going to be out there, it's going to be like an ocean. Those guys are so incredibly used to what they are seeing on that screen. That's cool.
I know you got a meet and greet coming up here in a few minutes, but you did spend time with Logan Parks last night. Did he give us, did you get us any little nuggets that you can share with us? How was he feeling?
He was looking very relaxed, to be quite honest. For someone that just came off the lake all day, he hung out and was just the most down-to-earth. That's what I found. Like, everybody here is just so willing to just have a conversation, talk, hang out. His wife was there. I'm like, it does not feel like you were in the middle of a Yokohama Bassmaster Elite tournament.
A high-power tournament.
Go.
Right. It's awesome.
So I think he's confident. It seemed confident.
Well, he should be confident. Having a great tournament and a big day yesterday. But a guy who's had a big life, our guest, Travis Pastrana. I want to thank you for joining us and another opportunity to look at some highlights here. When you watch these, do certain parts of your body start to hurt when you see each of these clips?
Every one of them. But it's been a lot of fun for sure.
Is it true is that you jumping out of a plane without a parachute?
It's kind of pass or fail. Always thought those were the easiest tests.
Do you watch Shark Week where those great whites bust those baby seals? Are you ever like, I want to go swimming out there?
They threw me in. I tell you what. Yeah, it's. I've been with sharks. I'm not a big fan of the ocean.
Wow. I feel manly because I swam with sharks this year and I loved it. So you ain't nothing, Travis Pastrana, but you're a great guest. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back. Great job.
Sorry, sir, let me get one more shot of you guys.
Great job. Honestly, thank you. You're awesome.
Let me get one more shot of y'all.
I know it. He doesn't care who I am, what titles I have, how many blue trophies I got, that I've fished since I could walk, or that I've spent countless hours on the water for this moment. It's me versus the fish, and I like to win.
Bass fishing fans, the ultimate destination for Bassmaster merchandise is here and better than ever with an all-new Bassmaster online store. From exclusive apparel to high-quality gear and accessories, we've got everything you need with prices to fit every budget. It's our new, more customer-friendly site with fast shipping and unbeatable quality. All kinds of items to give as gifts to the bass fishing fan in your life or stock up on options for yourself. The goods you need to elevate your bass fishing game and rep your Bassmaster pride. See Bassmaster.shop to check out the latest deals and hottest trends at the all-new Bassmaster online store.
We're known for really small baits, for highly pressured fish, and we're going even smaller now with the new Micro Series. So when I say Micro Series, you're probably wondering how small are these baits? These baits are typically around 40% smaller than what you've come to expect from us. So the next time you're faced with super tough conditions, the Micro Series is going to be the solution to help you keep the bite going and catch that fish that you've always dreamed of.
Summer is fading fast, but the savings are blazing hot. It's the final days of the Skeeter Blazing Hot Summer Savings Sales Event. Until September 5th, you can save big with up to $5,000 in rebates on select models. Get the Skeeter boat you've been dreaming about across our popular Bass, Saltwater, and Deep V lines. Don't miss out. Visit your authorized Skeeter dealer today or go to SkeeterBoats.com for more details. Hurry, this event ends September 5th. Don't let this opportunity drift away. Terms and conditions may apply.
And last, see it 8 or 9. Oh, it could be 10. Oh, what a bite.
I fish in some of the worst elements across the country. Spring, that's a giant, dude. Summer. Yeah! Big in! Winter. It's so cold. And fall. Got him. Look at him. Being comfortable and staying dry is absolutely not an option. AFCO. Any fish, any water.
Discover the hidden gems and pristine waters of Tennessee's Bill Dance signature lakes. Conveniently located throughout Tennessee, there's a signature lake near you, covering all regions of the volunteer state, all endorsed by the legendary Bill Dance himself. Whether it's a weekend getaway or an extended vacation, create timeless memories at Tennessee's Bill Dance signature lakes. Plan your trip today.
Hard to recover from a Travis Pastrana segment, but we're going to do our best. We're going to do our best. That dude is awesome. 3 times me and my son Jack went and saw him in Nitro Circus, and every time I was like, I would never do the things he does.
I'll be honest with you, though. I feel like we found his kryptonite when we brought up swimming with sharks.
Oh, yeah.
It's not his jam. Not that it's anybody's, but...
Well, some people like it. Weirdos. Total weirdos. Speaking of weirdos, we've added one member to our cast, and we'll talk about that in a second. But first, let's get out in the water live with Yokohama teammate to Travis Pastrana. Logan Parks had the second biggest bag of the tournament yesterday.
That's a big one. Oh, not that big. Look huge on the screen. Actually not that big.
One of the things that you're definitely seeing today is looking at our mapping of where these anglers are at in Anchor Bay. A lot of the guys that are in the top 20 right now, kind of off the beaten path. Not your leaders, Koya Fujita, Trey McKinney. They've kind of been around a lot of pressure. Like Logan Parks, I mean, for the most part, he's been left alone. You look at guys like Pat Schlopper, kind of left alone, even though they're in Anchor Bay, kind of off the beaten path.
Come here. Let me get you. Be a nice upgrade, at least.
Go. Logan Parks with another one there, and had a good day yesterday, obviously. Second biggest mover of the day.
I just knew that was a tank.
Only guy who caught him better than him is his old college roommate, and that is, or his old college partner, and that is Tucker Smith, who's now moved in within 3 points of our Rookie of the Year race. But how do you recover from a Travis Pastrana segment? Well,
exactly.
Bringing Bo knows.
Bo knows.
We're letting you start this one upright this week. I mean, I think that means for you the career's going up, Steve Bowman.
How about that? I mean, I was texting Mike the whole time. Just keep him in there because he was fantastic. But the one thing that Bo knows about this tournament is St. Clair is all about the brain weight.
Brain weight?
What is a brain weight?
A brain weight is about 3 pounds. All right? And 3 pounds is the key weight all week long. And I'm going to give you some numbers to back that up. First, the 631 fish that were registered yesterday on Bass Track, only 15 of those were in the 1 to 2 pound range. All right? 65 to 75% of the 65 to 70% of these numbers were 3 pounders. So, you know, that's the majority of the field is catching 3. Nobody weighed in a sack except for Ed Lochran, who, you know, had his problems. Everybody else weighed a 3 pound average, period. Last place.
Every single angler.
Every single angler had a 3 pound average. It's had a 3 pound average every day.
Did it surprise you? Did it surprise you? And I'm going to ask you this, Mercer. And again, I go back to day number 1. I said there's going to be a lot of anglers that their heart is going to be broken with 18 and 19 pounds. What was the cut weight yesterday?
It was 40 or 39 and change.
Did it surprise you that basically 18 and 19 pounds and you're packing, leaving?
You're packing. 18 pounds would not get you anything here. You had to have at least one day of 20 to 21 pounds.
True story. A very, very, very well-known angler around this area, John Maniaci, came up to me yesterday. Dude fishes out here 5 days a week. He made the comment, literally, during the weigh-in yesterday, he goes, it is amazing and depressing of how good these guys do because they make me, and a guy like Minnie and myself, dude, we've fished out here for 30 to 40 years. Literally, he made the comment, they show you how well you do not know your own lake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the main thing was the 3 pounds. There was a story in Bassmaster years ago, back in the day. the most perfect fish that Bassmasters chase are 3-pounders. You catch a 1-pounder, it comes flying back at you. You set the hook on a 2-pounder, you get a little bit of shake, and then it comes at you. A 3-pounder stays in place. It's got the most fight, and you have more chances of catching 3-pounders than anything. So with 70% of the fish being caught in this deal, we're talking about St. Clair being one of the most perfect fisheries for a bass angler. You don't go out there and catch 1-pounders,
right?
You know, and
it's like they're born 3 pounds.
Right? Yeah, it's like they get there and they stay there. So St. Clair is almost
you know
perfect.
that is weird. You say that. The producer of Bassmaster, Mike McInnes, comes up here all the time in April, and so many of our viewers are watching this right now that fish the mile roads in April, early season. It is staggering how few 1 to 2.5 pound fish. Like, there's so many bass in here. You're like, well, heck, man, I'm gonna catch 50.5 to 2 pound fish. You just don't.
No.
It's like everything you catch is 3 pounds and bigger.
Right. And how big is the 3 pounds? If you look at the weights, if you look at the standings, 3 pounds separates 11th from 42nd place. 3 pounds separates 42nd place to 73rd place. The threes are a big key number, and you know, everybody out there today has to have at least that if they want to just stay alive or not be embarrassed. But even that, like you said earlier, you're kind of embarrassed if you walk up here with 15 pounds.
It was unbelievable, man, to see some of the names that came in with 18 to 19 pounds on day 1 and day 2, and basically just sent back.
And Bowman, I did some of the numbers. That percentage pretty close today, 55, 56% until the 11 o'clock hour, 3 pounds or better on bass trout.
Wow.
Over to Koya Fujita, and as has been the case a lot today, he is once again hooked up.
And the other side, these dudes are not going to put a 2-pounder in their live well.
This is not a battle of the scopers. This is the battle of the super scopers going down here this week.
There's no doubt. By the end of the day, going into championship, ooh, look at that right there. Your hands off me. By the end of championship Sunday, the best in the game at Shining, they will be at the top.
Is there a chance that that's what the dice bait is imitating?
Honestly, those things really scare me. Really, it's like something in like Prometheus, you know.
Mark Soda, you're awesome. You guys are great. Thank you very much. Don't go anywhere. The live show will continue from the studio in Little Rock, Arkansas.